Welcome to Electrifying.com's radical rundown of the very best battery electric vehicles on sale in the UK right now. We'll be bringing you the chart toppers.
I don't think they are chart toppers. They're just the ones that we think are very good.
Okay, we'll be bringing you the cars that we really rate, all the way from 10 down to
1. 10 down to 1, because that's how lists work, right?
You really haven't got into the spirit of this yet, have you?
At 10!
It's the wacky wonder that is the BMW i3. It's been on sale for a few years now, but the i3 remains one of the best urban electric cars out there. Why? Because it works its quirks. For its size and usefulness mix, this isn't an inexpensive car, but it is a car that's a great mix of design and practicality. It really sells it.
Can you stop doing that now?
Okay.
The latest one is visually tweaked, but that's pretty much it, and it still has a slightly strange-looking narrow city car feel with suicide doors at the back. There's a modest 33 kilowatt-hour battery and a single motor driving the rear wheels, good for around 150 miles of range. Now, the i3S version is more powerful, a bit more sporty, but you do give up the range if you're enthusiastic with the improved handling ability.
But you know what? It's really the design that stands out with the i3. The inside is wonderful, a generous mix of interesting textures and tech, and to be fair, there is actually a good bit of kit with it, which there should be given the price. I sort of think of the i3 as part transport and part fashion accessory. For a grown-up, easy-to-park urban EV transport, that i3 still has a lot of aces up its sleeves. At 9!
Oh dear, it's the VW e-up.
Oh God.
I'm Northern, I'm allowed to do it.
Okay.
You're not. The Up is already a cutesy small city car with a variety of engines, so it kind of makes sense to drop an EV drivetrain into it. And that is exactly what VW did. Now, it's more of a runaround than a motorway barnstormer, and it's decent competition for the similarly towny Renault Zoe.
Those 2020 changes that have really upped the Up's game. The battery pack has twice the capacity of the previous version, and that jump in range means that you don't have to home charge to make it work. One of the interesting things about the e-up is that it doesn't really look like an EV. There's no wacky styling, no strobe lights, it's just the same up profile you see all over the place, a kind of stealth electric car.
You really don't like those wacky looking EVs, do you?
Well, I don't mind them, but not in this context. So, if you're after a simple electric city car, then the only way is up. Sorry, you probably won't get that joke if you're under 40.
At 8.
It's a fanciful bit of French fun.
And who doesn't like a fanciful bit of French fun?
Exactly. It's the Renault Zoe. It's been Europe's best-selling EV in its time, and there's an obvious reason as to why. The Zoe is one of the cheapest cost price per mile of range electric cars out there.
It was one of the first pure electric cars on the market, so it has got form, and it's brilliantly fit for purpose. Just like the Up, it's more of a runaround than an inter-urban trawler, but the 245-mile range means that you don't necessarily need home charging to own one. You could rely on charging up once a week at a public charging point. If you can have home charging, then you'll get it installed free when you buy a Zoe, which is great.
It's a little bit annoying that the 50 kilowatt fast charging capability, which you'll want to have, is a £750 option. But despite that, the Zoe works, and it's a no-nonsense toe in the water for first-time EV buyers. At 7! It's the useful, usable, popular as chips, Nissan Leaf. No, it's not the most exciting of electric cars, but the Nissan Leaf is a bit like the Zoe in a lot of ways. It's easy to understand, easy to get along with, been out for a while and subsequently been hit with the upgrade hammer. This is the second generation and it's hit a bit of a sweet spot. Better battery and range, faster charging, better connectivity, more driver aids and a bit faster. And prices are lower model for model.
Oh, good then. I've been running a Leaf for a while now, and what I love about it is that it doesn't make a fuss. It's easy to live with. It's a 5-seat hatchback with GTI acceleration, good cruising ability, and all the benefits of an electric car.
It was also pretty ahead of its time. The Leaf is capable of vehicle-to-grid charging, meaning that owners can charge up when electricity is cheap and sell it back to the grid when it's more expensive. So you can make money from your Leaf. Now that really is great.
Absolutely. And at
6! It's the very new and very easy Mini Electric. Just released, fresh out of the blocks, and Mini is doing its thing again.
Yeah, Minis are absolutely everywhere, but that just goes to show that they work for loads of people. The new Mini Electric just broadens that appeal. First of all, there's a sensible asking price, putting it squarely up against pretty much every other small EV on the market.
It's not got a huge range at 122 miles from a 32.5 kilowatt-hour battery, but Mini reckons that this is about the right compromise between cost, range and weight.
Yeah, and that's where the Mini Electric might just be an absolute winner. It's got a decent amount of power, but the smallish battery means that the Mini EV only weighs 1,350 kilograms, which is not much more than the normal Cooper.
Add in some properly lovely handling and neat dimensions, and you've got what might well be described as a bit of an electric hot hatch. That's really interesting. It's not really designed for motorway work, but as a decent handling city knockabout or backlane commuter, this is brilliant.
Absolutely, and
at 5! It's the beasts from the East.
What?
Sorry. It's the Kia Soul and Kia e-Niro. Now, we'll group these two together as they're essentially the same excellent drivetrain wrapped up in two different body styles, so you're pretty much picking what look suits you best. Though it is worth noting that the Niro is available with hybrid, plug-in hybrid and pure EV versions, while the Soul is pure electric only. Now, both of these cars are supremely capable and practical electrics that are just as easy to live with.
okay, the Niro isn't the best looking car in the world, but if you want something with a bit more design, then the boxy but really great Soul has got you absolutely covered. Both cars will deal with 5 people and their luggage with casual ease. Both will actually hit their claimed ranges, which is very good. Both will accept rapid charging and both come with all the kit you reasonably need.
They're also in the affordable end of the longer range EVs and get a mega 7-year/100,000 mile warranty, which gives you that warming glow of comfort should anything happen to wobble. These are actually some of the most useful EVs on the market at the moment.
Okay, which of the two would you have? After 3, together. 1, 2, 3.
I'd have 4.
Oh, you're so awkward, aren't you, all the time?
And at 4! It's the car that changed the game from Jenga to Connect 4. It's the Tesla Model S. I'm sorry that doesn't make sense, but slightly more recognisable than newer Model 3, the larger Model S is still at the top of the EV game. Continually improved with over-the-air updates, the Model S feels like an EV that really could make petrol station visits a thing of the past. With only the larger 100 kilowatt-hour battery available in the UK, there are 2 models of this model. You get some of what I did there. The long range and the performance. Both all-wheel drive, both with a pair of motors. When it comes to speed, the performance will crush the Sprint in a positively bonkers 2.4 seconds. It's not fast for an EV, it's plain blistering and the fastest saloon car in the world.
And I love it a lot. But putting that time warping speed to one side, the Model S is a genuine option for pretty much everyone with a big enough parking space. All the advantages of a pure electric car, but with a range that means even charging is a once a week thing unless you're doing loads of miles.
And it is that range and the excellent supercharger network that means that the S is a genuinely much more convenient long-range cruiser than pretty much any other electric car on the market. In fact, Tesla's main competition tends to be other Teslas. Apparently, only 5% of people who swap to an electric car ever go back to petrol or diesel, and the Model S is the car that changed that game.
Absolutely. And
at
3! It's everyone's favourite electric big cat. It's the Jaguar I-Pace. Can winning awards get boring?
Probably.
Don't know, I'm asking you don't know. If so, the Jaguar team must be yawning fit to burst because the I-Pace has picked up more than a few. 62, in fact, at the last count, including an unprecedented trio of World Car Awards. Did I mention I'm one of the jurors for that?
Yeah, pretty much every day. Anyway, back to the awards. There are excellent reasons for that bulging trophy cabinet. This is a new age Jag that offers a decent mix of forward thinking and comforting tradition. It's a fabulously modern looking car that also manages to be unmistakably a Jag. Please note that the Pipe and Slippers Brigade probably won't be that impressed. unless they're into carbon fibre vape pipes and Yeezy sliders.
Quite like you, Irene. With a 90 kilowatt hour battery packaged under the floor and two powerful electric motors, one on each axle to give permanent four-wheel drive, the iPace also manages to be genuinely really entertaining to drive. It's a car that will put a smile on your face on a nice entertaining stretch of road. More than can be said for many of these bigger electric cars. And it turns in 4.8 second 0 to 62 mile per hour times all day long. Okay, it's at the more expensive end of electric cars, and you're not going to get close to its claimed 292 mile range. Anywhere close. Around 220 is more like it, depending on the weather and, of course, the wheels.
But this is a subtle spaceship of a car. It doesn't feel like a repurposed normal SUV. And yes, we're looking at you, Audi
Yes,
e-tron.
we are.
But equally, it's a car that has embraced the new age drivetrain without looking like a child's toy. Bravo, Jaguar. Bravo.
And
Add two! Another American wonder, it's the slightly less expensive Tesla Model 3. Now, it wouldn't be a list of the best EVs on sale without including some form of Tesla, but they're that appealing, we've got two.
one for each of us.
Yeah, exactly. Both benefit from the frankly brilliant Tesla supercharger network of charge points, something that other EV owners drive past with something resembling boiling envy. Both represent the kind of ubiquity in EV language that made Hoover and Jeep brands that stretched across more than just their own product.
So the Model 3 at the moment is the most affordable Tesla. Smaller, more useful in most situations than the Model S or X. It's designed to be the kind of car that could wean even the most die-hard petrol head away from their petrol or diesel cars. It's just a really hard one to argue against. Okay, so you can have an opinion on the style and the image, but the hardware is second to none.
Absolutely.
There are 3 versions currently available in the UK, and inside all of them is dominated by a massive 15-inch touchscreen. There are really very few physical buttons to push. It all feels very space age, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. I mean, it is a little bit intimidating at first, but you get used to it surprisingly quickly. But more than that, the Model 3 feels like it covers all of the bases. You can charge it at home, or it has a brilliant out-and-about charging network, long range, spectacular performance, and a neat, reasonably sized package. There have been some grumblings about build quality, but the 3 is the one to beat in 2020.
You managed to talk about a Tesla without mentioning the whoopee cushion. Amazing.
I'm very proud of myself. And in at the top spot, it's a newcomer of the charts straight in at number 1.
It is the Porsche Taycan. Taycan. Oh, goodness me.
The
What is
Taycan
Taycan.
is Porsche's first crack at a pure electric car, and it's good. Very, very good.
Very
it comes in 3 flavours, 4S Turbo and Turbo S, and no, none of them have anything resembling an actual turbo. It's just a model designation that makes no literal sense. They're all 4-wheel drive, all with performance figures that will make you smile or grimace. We're not sure which. Also, they are not cheap.
But what we do have here is a proper, full electric sports car, one that feels like a Porsche. It's the more emotional, slightly less tangible inputs that make this just a fabulous car to drive. The steering, the brakes, the way the Taycan can carve through a set of bends. You know, not just fast, but with real feedback for the driver. It is a great car. If there is a driver's EV out there at the moment, then this car is it. It's also built to Porsche standards as well and can accept the fastest of fast charging, 120 kilowatts plus. So if you're in the market for an electric car with all the DNA of the best Porsches out there, you will not go far wrong with this.
And there you have it. That's our electrifying top 10.
Not that again. You know, if this doesn't work out, you could really have a career as a Radio 2 DJ.
I know, Ginny, because I'm really good at cheese.
Okay, this is our quickish rundown. You can get full reviews of all our favourites somewhere around here and get the full lowdown over on electrifying.com. And I know you're going to disagree with us, aren't they?
Yeah, so tell us.
Tell us.